110.
Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to channel Anderson. Today's video is going to be a quick one, but I've been asked about this so many times that I wanted to make the video to make it easier for you guys to do this job. So what we have here is our M113 fuel rail. This is off of my Mars Red C55 that we're in the process of refreshing the engine bay before we complete our 6-speed manual swap. If you guys are interested in that, go check out the other videos. They're probably out shortly or soon from the time you're seeing this. But anyways, any M113, any M112, this video is going to help you and show you what you need to kind of refresh these injectors. So starting off, on each one of the injectors, you're going to find one of these little clips. Basically just pry it off with flat blade screwdriver, and they just pop off. They sit like so. You pop in this way and they fit into the little grooves right there, and allows it to seat in there. So anyways, get all 8 of those out, and after that you're basically just going to pop these out of their homes. They might be a little bit stuck, especially these ones. Might take 2 hands to get these off because these are so old and crusty. It's gonna take 2 hands. So let me pop them off and I'll show you guys what we're working with. All right, so there we go. That thing was super stuck in there. But luckily, most of the time the O-rings that sit in the rail are actually usually still good. So top O-ring, perfectly fine. Bottom O-ring on this one is not that bad, and the pintle cap actually is still in place like all of them. I was very surprised. The pintle caps, if you guys pull rails, you never know. They could be in pieces, they could be in the valve, so be very careful with those when you're pulling the rail, and if you're doing the intake manifold, etc. Just be very cognizant. On one of my cars, a silver C55, I had to play operator and use needle nose pliers to get some pieces of the pintle caps out of the valves that it broke. Luckily, all of these are intact, but you can tell some of these O-rings are no longer O-rings. So all the ones that sit in the rail, like I said, are usually good, but these outer ones are absolutely shot. So I'm going to show you guys what you're going to use to replace those pieces. Alright, so over here in my jungle of parts and etc., we have pintle caps. Look like this. These are Bosch Type 3 pintle caps, and I order everything from theinjectorshop.com. Local company to me, so super cool. I get to support somebody local, and they by far have the best prices and best selection of these kind of unique pieces and parts needed to rebuild these injectors. So if you call them up, the part number they use is 3-147, and you can see I ordered 24 of them when I first did. I've done these a couple times now, so I don't have that many left, but those are the pintle caps. And then our O-rings are right there. They are a Viton O-ring, and sorry, part number is -140, and I ordered 50 of these, and they're like super cheap. I can't remember off the top of my head what I paid for all this, but like less than 30-40 bucks, I'm pretty sure, for all of these things. And I've done 3, this will be my 3rd set of injectors I've done with these. So they're a nice blue Viton O-ring. Going to be 2 per injector, so 16 total. And before we do that, we're going to get these cleaned up. I have an injector tester machine. You don't necessarily need one. It's good to have, good to get them cleaned out a little bit. We're going to clean out the outsides, obviously, and get those O-rings and everything swapped out with the pintle caps as well. For the pintle caps, what I like to do is basically just grab onto them with pliers or a flat blade and try to just pop them up. Most likely these are going to just break, so it's not a big deal. Just get them off, and then snapping them on. Once you get the O-ring on, put a little dielectric grease on there, and I just basically pop them in by hand. You'll feel them snap into place. And anyways, we'll get to that when we get to that, but let me pop all these out, get them cleaned up on the outside, and then we'll get ready for our injector machine. Alright guys, all of our injectors out, super dirty. So obviously I'm going to get the outside of these scrubbed up a little bit, pop off all of our old pieces, and then get them into the injector machine and get them flowed out. Alright guys, all of the pintle caps and O-rings are off, and to do that all I use is just a pick tool and a set of pliers. So easy money. Let me get these scrubbed off and we'll get them in the flow tester. Alright guys, these are all cleaned up. Don't need to be perfect, but they're a heck of a lot better than before, as you guys saw. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the new O-rings on, get the new pintle caps on, and we'll throw them into the injector tester. When doing so, I like to use a good amount of dielectric grease on each one of the O-rings and the pintle caps. Like I said, just push them on by hand. That's the easiest way to do it. Alright you guys, and there they are, all nice and fresh with their new O-rings and pintle caps. Like I said a few times now, but just go ahead and snap the pintle caps on by thumb. Usually I just like to press them down by thumb. It takes a little bit of force, but they make a nice little snap. Kind of sounds like a finger pop, to be honest. And you'll feel them seat pretty easy. So easy enough job. A little bit of dielectric grease, a little bit of finger strength, and you're good to go. Alright guys, we got our first 4 loaded up, other 4 in waiting. Gonna go ahead and what are we gonna start with? Idling test, ultrasonic cleaning. That's for the back. Skip that part, but I don't know, let's go to leak check. Let's do some spraying first, and then we'll do leak check. Let's do idling spray value test. Okay, let's go for it. And it's gonna take a bit because it's got to load the fluid that's in there. Hopefully there still is fluid in there. Alright, there we go. We had our value set way low for our pressure. Let me keep this open. And let's go ahead, start fresh with that. Let's do acceleration test. These only have 2 injectors, or 2 nozzles. Let me see. Alright guys, well a long while later actually, I did the ultrasonic cleaning, put them in the bucket up there and turned it on to that. That runs for about 10 minutes. Just put them back onto the idling test. I did add a little bit of fuel into this mix, even though you're not supposed to put corrosive chemicals into this machine, but oh well. I needed some type of extra fluid because the other fluid wasn't very much that was in there. They do look like they're spraying a bit better now, to be honest, but it's hard to tell if they're spraying from all 4, and there is indeed 4 nozzles that, or 4 outlet on the injectors, so I gotta make sure I'm seeing that from all 4, but I don't know. It's a bit strange right now. I'm confused. Alright guys, I'm doing idle value test. They seem to be spraying just fine. You can definitely tell the difference between factory and our EV injectors we tried before, just as far as like the dispersal of the fluid goes, or the gas, sorry. So I have this plunger down. We'll see what the value is after this test finishes. But right now, they are pretty much dead even. Alright guys, well, pretty much dead even right there. Maybe off by like not even a millimeter. So let's try the next test. Dump that out and let's go with a high-speed spray value test. Lock that back down and here we go. Oh yeah, those look a lot better than when I first started. I think we're good, guys. I think we're good. Show you what this reads after it's done. Okay, just finished up. Let the bubbles dissipate a bit. And again, pretty much dead even. This one is, again, just a hair above the rest, but that could also have to do with how it's seated. So, not really worried about that discrepancy. I think we are good. Let me swap these out and put in the other 4. Got our 4 that we already tested, already locked down. So finish up the other 4 and button this thing back up. Alright guys, idle spray value test for this set. Let's see what they read out to be. Alright guys, and again, pretty much dead even. This one maybe a hair below the rest, but again, discrepancies up here can lead to that, so I'm not too worried. Anything that minor So let's go to our high speed spray value test, and that'll be it. And then I'll be ready to pull these out, put them back in the rail. Looking good. Alright, high speed tells the same story. We are good to take these out, guys. Alright, you guys, well, there it is. Injectors back in the rail. Just waiting on those clips to finish up in the ultrasonic, but I think you guys get the point. Putting those clips on, I put them on by hand. Just make sure you line up the squares on the injectors with the flat ends over here, and there's a little groove right there at the bottom that you slide that clip into, as well as these little outer ears. So besides that, guys, hopefully this video is helpful for you. Hopefully you picked up a few little tips and tricks and know a little bit more about your injectors on your M112, M113, etc. So if you guys are interested, check out the other videos. Got lots of other stuff on the channel related to this type of work. A lot more crazy than this. This is kind of a simple one, but yeah, check them out if you guys are interested, and catch you on the next one. Peace.